Hi everyone, I'm Linda Reimer, one of the librarians at the Southeast Steadman County Library. Welcome to Library Connections, our weekly readers, viewers, and listeners advisory video cast. Enjoy! Library Connections number 34, hosted by SSCL librarian Linda Reimer. This video cast is being recorded on Thursday, December 17th, 2020. Jumping right in as usual with the top 5 fiction bestsellers for the week, courtesy of the New York Times. At number 1, we have Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline. In a sequel to Ready Player 1, Wade Watts discovers a technological advancement and goes on a new quest. At number 2, A Time for Mercy by John Grisham, the third book in the Jake Brigance series. A 16-year-old is accused of killing a deputy in Clanton, Mississippi in 1990. At number 3, Deadly Cross by James Patterson, the 28th book in the Alex Cross series. An investigation of a double homicide sends Alex Cross to Alabama. At number 4, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. The lives of twin sisters who run away from a southern black community at age 16 diverge as one returns and the other takes on a different racial identity, but their fates intertwine. And at number 5, The Return by Nicholas Sparks. A doctor serving in the Navy in Afghanistan goes back to North Carolina, where 2 women change his life. And moving on to the top 5 nonfiction bestsellers of the week. At number 1, A Promised Land by Barack Obama. In the first volume of his presidential memoirs, Barack Obama offers personal reflections on his formative years and pivotal moments through his first term. At number 2, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. The Academy Award-winning actor shares snippets from the diaries he's kept over the last 35 years. At number 3, Bagman by Rachel Maddow and Michael Yarvitz. The MSNBC host gives an account of the 1973 investigation of then-President Spiro T. Agnew and its impact on politics and the media. At number 4, The Last Days of John Lennon by James Patterson with Casey Sherman and Dave Wedge. The story of the killing of the former member of the Beatles by Mark David Chapman in 1980, and interviews with some of Lennon's friends and associates. And at number 5, World of Wonders by Amy Nachammathatil. Apologies to the author for not quite having her last name correctly pronounced, but I digress. Getting back to the book World of Wonders, in a collection of essays, the poet celebrates various aspects of the natural world and its inhabitants. Our first recommended read for this week is Cuyahoga, a novel written by Pete Beatty. Beatty's inspired debut is an American tall tale in the 19th century oral tradition. Living legend Big Sun has wrestled forests and rivers into submission. But in Ohio City, in 1837, he meets his greatest challenge to date when his true love, Chloe Inches, refuses to be his bride until he proves himself as a provider. He finds work building a bridge across the Cuyahoga River that will connect Cleveland with its rival, Ohio City. But after the bridge collapses, so too do Big Son's fortunes. It is up to his brother, Medium Son, called Mead, to restore his reputation by creating an almanac of Big Son's legendary feats. Mead, however, covets Chloe and is secretly jealous of the attention his older brother receives. Throw in a dandyish rival for Chloe's affection and a gunpowder-toting demonstrator, and the stage is set for the biggest Big Son tale of all time. Narrated by Mead in a colloquial voice, Beatty's novel has echoes of Matthew Sharp's Jamestown and Hugh Neeson's The Tree of Life, employing language that thrusts the reader fully into the tumult of life on the American frontier. Like Big Son himself, this novel is an American original. So if you want something a little bit different and with a tall tale theme, this is a great book to check out. Our second recommended read of the week is nonfiction, and this is not a new book, but it's one I've come across recently, and it's top-notch. It's called H is for Hawk by Helen McDonnell. If birds are made of air, as the nature writer Cy Montgomery says, then writing a great bird book is a little like dusting for the fingerprints of a ghost. It calls for poetry and science, conjuring and evidence. In her breathtaking new book, H is for Hawk, Helen McDonnell renders an indelible impression of a raptor's fierce essence, and her own, with words that mimic feathers so impossibly pretty we don't notice their astonishing engineering. Although animal as emotional healer is a familiar motif, McDonnell's journey clears its own path, messy, muddy, and raw. And that's from the New York Times book review of the title. Again, H is for Hawk. Our first audiobook recommendation for this week is a light fiction title. It's called No Offense, written by Meg Cabot and read by Piper Goodeve. Piper Goodeve lends a clear and bright narration to this rom-com with an air of mystery. Just who left a baby in the library bathroom and why? Single librarian and new-to-town Molly loves suspenseful literature and is eager to find the answer to the question. Sheriff John Hartwell's by-the-books nature causes him to butt heads with Molly during his investigation, but he's also drawn to her kindness. Goodeve voices Molly energetically, mirroring her curiosity, while John projects an authoritative tone fit for his profession and his role as a single father. The older sergeant, Marguerite, is sarcastic and has a rougher, thinner voice that marks her age. A fast-talking journalist and a socialite with a southern drawl are also highlights in a skilled performance that brings a community of characters to life, and that is the audiophile review. Our second audiobook recommendation for this week is another light title. It's called The Switch. It's written by Beth O'Leary and read by Alison Steadman and Daisy Edgar-Jones. Edgar-Jones and Steadman team up as a fun, quirky grandmother and granddaughter pair in this lively narration. Lena is sent on a 2-month vacation after work-related stress affects her job performance. Her grandmother, Eileen, A divorcee living in the country makes a deal to swap living quarters with Lena so Lena can get the rest she needs, while Eileen looks for potential suitors in London. The two narrators, each portraying her respective character's point of view, are a perfect match. Lena sounds genuine, kind, and sometimes dreary, while Eileen is quaint yet snarky. Other vibrant characters, such as the ladies' neighbors, add to a flamboyant story that will entertain listeners. Edgar-Jones and Steadman are a winning combination, and that too is an audiophile review. Our first streaming video recommendation for this week is an oldie now but a goodie. I can't believe this film is 20 years old, but it is. It's called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You may have seen it. If you have, it's an excellent film. I'm sure you'll agree, and it might be time to watch it again. And if you haven't seen it, it's available now through Amazon Prime Video. Ang Lee received an Academy Award nomination for Best Director for this enthralling mixture of martial arts adventure and heartfelt romance. His narrative is a busy hive of deception, betrayal, loyalty, and pride. And while the personal and emotional stakes are high, Crouching Tiger is most memorable for its awe-inspiring action sequences. Bone-crunching and balletic, thrilling and lyrical, as heroes and villains alike transcend gravity itself. Our critic called it a heady and delirious brew, and that summary is from the New York Times, and it is a terrific film. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Moving along to our second streaming recommendation for this week, it's the film Ma Rainey's Black Bottom from 2020, and it's available through Netflix. On December 18th, Black Panther fans will finally get to experience Chadwick Boseman's final film, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, an adaptation of August Wilson's famed stage play. Boseman stars as Levy, an ambitious trumpeter working under blues singer Gertrude Ma Rainey. Along with Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will headline Netflix's awards season push. So even if you've never seen Boseman's Marvel work, you'll want to tune in. And that is the Claire Spellberg summary of the film from The Decider. And our final streaming recommendation for this week is the film The Prom, available through Netflix. Ryan Murphy's take on the 2016 Broadway musical stars Meryl Streep, Nicole Kidman, James Corden, and Andrew Rannells as four stage stars who travel to Indiana after a high school student is banned from taking her girlfriend to the prom. While the Broadway stars initially head there for their own selfish purposes, they see the crusade as a PR opportunity, they quickly become attached to the student and resolve to throw her the glitziest prom ever. So if you want a light, fun movie, The Prom would fit the bill, and you might also do a double feature and watch Knives Out, which is also, it's a little darker, but it's really fun too, and sort of the same ilk. And finally, our Hoopla recommendation for the week. And this week I'm going to recommend the new Charles Martin novel, Chasing Fireflies, which is available through Hoopla as both an ebook and a downloadable audiobook narrated by Adam Vernier. Chasing Fireflies is a novel of discovery. They have one summer, and only one, to find what was lost long ago. On a stifling summer day, an old Chevy Impala ignored the warning signals and was annihilated by the oncoming train. What no one realized, until much later, was that the driver had paused just before entering the tracks and kicked a small boy out of the car. A small boy with broken glasses who is clutching a notebook with all his might, but who never speaks. Chase Walker was one of the lucky ones. He was in foster care as a child, but he finally ended up with a family who loved him and cared for him. Now, as a journalist for the local paper, he's moved on and put the past behind him. But when he's assigned the story of this young boy, painful, haunting questions about his own childhood begin to rise to the surface. And as Chase Walker discovers, learning the truth about who you are can be as elusive and as magical as chasing fireflies on a summer night. And on to our odd duck recommendation for this week. This week I'm going to recommend you check out the live animal cam feeds from the San Diego Zoo. To get there, Google San Diego Zoo Kids, and don't ask me why the folks at the San Diego Zoo think that only kids would be interested in watching animals. I'm not a kid and I think it's cool to watch animals, so I'm digressing. We're going to Google San Diego Zoo Kids, and the search result that you want is the one you see on the right. It says San Diego Zoo Kids Home, and in fact right beneath that it says videos, so you can click right on the videos link to go there, but I'm going to take you through the front door. We're going to tap on the San Diego Zoo Kids homepage link, and a screen will display that looks like the one on the top left-hand corner of your screen. It says Meet the Bee Eater, and that is one gorgeous bird. I don't know what kind he is, but he's pretty. And just above his beak there's a link for videos, so if you click or tap on that, the next screen you'll see will look just like the one beneath the bird. We see 3 elephants hanging out, and it says videos, watch and learn, live cams and videos of your favorite animals. So once we're on that page, you scroll down a little bit and you'll see a screen that looks like the photo on the right with the different cams that you can access. You can watch hippos, koalas, platypuses, penguins, polar bears, tigers. But for this presentation, I'm going to click on the one for giraffes. And although this obviously is a still photo when you're looking at it, I assure you when I took the screenshot for the giraffe cam, the giraffes were walking around their area at the San Diego Zoo. And it says they're on the African Plains habitat, so that's really cool. So that's my recommendation for this week, and that's the odd duck for this week. Have questions about this weekly video cast? Send me an email, and I'll get back to you. My email address is reimerl@stls.org. That's R-E-I-M as in Mary, E-R-L @stls.org. Currently, the library is open the following hours: on Mondays and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we are closed to the public on Wednesdays and Sundays. And that is the end of the new Library Connections content for this week. What follows are a few informational tidbits, and the tidbits include directions as to where you can connect with the library online via our website, catalogs, blogs, and social media pages, links to articles used to create this week's videocast, otherwise known as references, and the library's contact information. First off, the library's website, found at ssclibrary.org. Through our website, you can find a whole host of information about the library, our calendar of events. You can have web access to the various library catalogs, and more. The library's appointments page, found on the library's website. Once you arrive at the library's website, you'll find that near the top of any page on our website, it says Make an Appointment in purple. If you click or tap on that link, you will be redirected to the appointments page, where you can make an appointment to use a computer or for curbside pickup. The digital catalog with its companion apps Libby and OverDrive. At the left side of your screen, you see the web version of the digital catalog found at stls.overdrive.com. You can go there and check out eBooks and audiobooks and download them to a computer or send them to an e-reader. If you have a mobile device, you can use the Libby or OverDrive app. The reason there are two apps is because Libby is for newer devices and OverDrive is for older devices and Kindle tablets. Hoopla, the Southeast Steadman County Library's new service, features eBooks, comic books, downloadable audiobooks, and streaming videos, including both TV shows and movies. All Hoopla items are available for instant checkout with a limit of 4 items available for checkout per month. In other words, you can check out anything in the catalog, but because the library has to pay for each item checked out, there's a maximum of 4 items that you can check out per month in any format. You can do this on a computer, a smart TV, or you can download the Hoopla app to your mobile device and access Hoopla content that way. The only thing you need is a Southeast Steadman County Library card. The library's blogs. We have 5 of them and they have different focuses. There's information on the book club for adults on that blog. The Corning NY History blog is the library's local history blog. Creation Stationery is the Makerspace blog. Story Musings is hosted by the library's resident author and head of adult services, Michelle Wells. And Tech and Book Talk is what it sounds like. It's a little bit about technology and more about what kind of books that you might like to read currently. And if you are thinking that all this information is coming too fast, you can also find links to the library's blogs on our website. If you have questions about library services during the pandemic, or want to make an appointment for curbside pickup or to use a computer, you are welcome to go the traditional route and simply give us a call. The library's phone number is area code 607-936-3713, and you can find our phone number online and in any phone book, even if it's a couple of years old. This is the same phone number the library's had all the time I've worked there, which is starting in the mid-1980s. So if you got a 20-year-old phone book at home, you will find the library's phone number in it. Social media. You can connect with the library, read library news, and post questions to the library via social media. The library has pages on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. In relation, each video in this series is available on demand via the library's YouTube channel after it has first been shown on Facebook Live. And our references of the week. And that's the program for this week. I'll be back next week with a special edition highlighting some of the best fiction titles of 2020. Happy holidays.